We're starting. Oh, there it is. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Women in Puppetry series interview. And that was a really weird start, but that's okay. I am here with my friend Katherine Hannaford, and Katherine is an Australian puppeteer and puppet builder who has made some puppetry headlines this year, which is really fun. We're going to talk about that. And she is always busy building new characters for her middle school students, and more recently for I believe, thank you, Katherine, for joining us. This is going to be so fun.
Yeah, g'day Jennifer, g'day everybody. Welcome to Sydney, Australia, where it's lovely and warm. So I've been making quite a splash this year with my puppetry and my puppet building. And yes, I've just delivered a few weeks ago my first television puppets to one of our free-to-air television shows here in Australia. So it's been a really different year for me in Puppet World.
Awesome. That is so cool. Okay, so I said middle school students, and I'm pretty sure that is the equivalent to the age group that you work with, but I wasn't sure. I think that was close, though.
I teach children who are age 12 to age 18. We call that
okay.
year 7 to year 12.
Okay. All right, so that'd be like middle school, high school for us.
Yes.
Okay. So you're a teacher and you work in the library?
Yes, I run the school library.
Okay.
And my job description is teacher librarian, as in like one word, no hyphen. Right. So I teach and run the library.
Okay, cool. That's really cool. So what exactly do you do with them? What do you teach, and how does all of that work?
How it all works. As part of being a puppet builder and puppet lover, I actually take all my puppets. I keep a lot of my puppets, especially the very first time I've tried out a new pattern. They live at my school because there's no room here for them to live. You can see behind me, I'm quite surrounded, and there's no room in my house for any more of my puppet creations. So they live at school. And what I have is that I've got 55 puppets in our school library, and they're there for the children to play with anytime they want. Quite often our brand new students, when they first come to high school, their first few days, they come into the library, and the puppets that I have there are mostly what we would call foam puppet or Muppet style, Sesame Street style puppets. And their eyes just light up, and they ask me, can we touch? And I'm going, go for it. And then next thing I know, I've got puppet mayhem everywhere. It's so much fun because the children, when they come to high school, because our school is half local children, but also half of our school population come from a wide area around Sydney, the children don't know each other. But they get to know each other very quickly through the puppets because they realize some of my puppets have little eye blink mechanisms or little features. The next thing I know, one child is asking another, how'd you do that? Or can I try that? And next thing they're talking to each other without necessarily needing an icebreaker activity. That's one of the really cool things I have. But this year I also teach puppetry as a class to our year 8 students. They're 14 years old. I've been teaching them for our entire school year because our school year runs from January to December. So we're nearly getting to the end of our full school year. But the children make puppets, learn about puppets. I've been teaching them a little bit about puppeteering. So that's one of the really cool things about my job, and I have an amazingly supportive school that indulges me in my passion for puppetry as well as for books.
That is so cool that that's cool that they let you do so much with puppets in school. And I love the fact that puppets shy kids especially opening up and and finding kind of a way to communicate with people. I think that's really interesting.
Yes, and one of the benefits is that puppets are a form of storytelling, and of course, being the librarian, my business is telling stories. They just happen to be book form, but before books, people told stories through puppets. So
that's true.
Yeah. Perfectly relatable. So it's perfectly acceptable to have puppets in the library.
Of course, of course. Oh wow, that's so cool. So let's see. Yeah, this is where I'm. This is what happens. I don't always know what to say next. That's okay. All right. Now I know you. This is kind of one that I didn't plan. This is a question I didn't plan on, but it just came to me. You travel a lot.
Yes.
With one in particular, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about that. Do you you have puppets that you travel with, and you bring back pictures and such to your students?
Yes. One of the things I've been doing with my puppetry is that my school, we have a support unit for students with autism, and because students with autism, they need a regular routine, and the library was one of the safe places for them. When I took my 3-month trip around the world in 2014, the students were going to miss me, and it was going to be disruptive to their routine. So what we decided was we were trying a technique that the support unit teachers learnt about, in terms of, I would blog back to the students, but to make life even more interesting for them, because they know me as the puppet teacher, that I should take a puppet with me. And so the children designed a character, and all the children designed their own, and then we picked features from everybody's drawings and came up with Lucy. Hi, I'm Lucy. I like to travel. I've been to New York, Atlanta, London. I've been to Rome, and I've been to Venice, and I've been to France. Yeah.
Wow.
And so Lucy took over my blog, and you can actually see her adventures. You just use the tag Lucy Green, and she actually took over my blog. But she was blogging back to the children, and the children were sending questions back to her, and they were mapping it as part of their social science history classes, geography classes. They had a huge wall map on the back of their classroom, and they would put little planes. And so when I came back after our 3-month adventure, I went, gee, I went a long way. But Lucy, she travels with me each time I go overseas for the last 3 years. She's come with me. Yeah, I like traveling. I can turn it into a little ball. Yeah, I'm really good at a ball. She puts me in a bag. Yeah. Yeah. At least it's silk. It's a silk bag.
That is so cool. I didn't realize that the kids designed Lucy. I had met Lucy before, but I didn't realize that the kids designed her. That's really cool.
Yes. So, and but Lucy also does other things with them at school, such as when we have standardized testing, which can be scary for our students, especially for new students at our school. Lucy does the test with them, because Lucy is part of their class. Lucy belongs to their class, so Lucy will go with them, and Lucy will sit in front of the test paper, and she will do the test too. Okay, she's never gotten great results, but that means the children don't feel so scared. But yeah, so this is one way I use puppets as teaching, is I use Lucy. So say bye, Lucy. Bye. See you later.
Yeah, we'll see you later.
Yeah.
That is so That is so awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
So Lucy's taken over my blog 3 times. But she's now been to America twice, but she's been all around the world with me. And she is actually the glorified sock puppet pattern from Project Puppet. And the reason I chose that pattern is that if I just pick her up now, and I can just actually like fold her up into a very small little ball, and she can then just be, put into my backpack. That way she was able to go with me everywhere. She's been to Disney World, but she's gotten us in trouble too. Yeah, we got ourselves in trouble because of her.
Oh dear. Well, she's very squishable. That's a good thing.
Yes, and she just bounces back.
Very nice.
She's an excellent traveling companion.
That's really cool. Oh my.
Yeah.
Very interesting stuff. Okay, so this year you came to America again with Lucy, and you had some help. You were the recipient of a UNIMA grant. Now, I think that's how you say it, right? You say it UNIMA, but it's
yes. I was the 2016 recipient of the Australian UNIMA grant. And for those people who don't know what UNIMA stands for Union Internationale de la Marionnette, which is all French. It's an international puppetry association. Most countries have their own branch of UNIMA, but their main goal is to promote and support puppetry everywhere. And their main goal is friendship through puppetry. This year, Australia has a scholarship called the Laurie Gardner Scholarship, and it's a grant towards developing new work or to support emerging puppeteers study with masters or attend courses. So I applied in March. It was the first time I had applied for the grant. I'm the last recipient. I'm the last one because it's been held every year. There've been about 6 of us now, but now the scholarship is moving to every 2 years. And what happens is you have to be a member of your local UNIMA to be eligible for a UNIMA scholarship, and you have to be a member there are various timelines, but for Australia, you have to be a member of UNIMA Australia for 2 years before you're eligible for the grant. So I applied this year for the first time, and to my absolute astonishment, I actually won. I couldn't believe my eyes when I got the email. I saw the email and went, oh, this is going to be the usual, thank you very much for applying. Unfortunately, you are unsuccessful. And then I had to read down a bit, and I went, hang on, what? I won. So
that's awesome.
My scholarship application was to attend Beyond the Sock Puppetry for Film and Television course in Texas, because I attended in 2015 and I wanted to attend again in 2016. And I figured, oh, well, this is one way of me pursuing my love of puppets with a little bit of help. So the scholarship grant it's actually from members donate. It's not a large grant. It was $1,200 Australian, but every little bit helps when it comes to traveling internationally to attend such an amazing workshop.
Right. Yeah.
So yes. But I had to, a part of being the recipient is that you have to write a report, and my report has just been published in the UNIMA Oz magazine. It will be published online in a few months' time, but because this actually contains scholarship reports from 2 other awardees, the 2 previous to me. Every so often they collate them together and put them in a book. So I'm in this one. And so I'm at the back. And there's me.
There she is.
There's me. So, and I think even Jennifer, you're in here somewhere, I hope.
Oh, am I in there? You'll have to tell me.
Up by Noel.
Oh.
There's a
Noel stole my spotlight.
And Noel sort of covered you up, but you are in there. Any more pictures? Oh, there's a picture of our socks. When we were working together on screen, there's a picture of our 2 socks.
Oh, yes.
You were, right. I think, green and I was pink. So,
think
yeah,
so.
You're in there.
Like my covered up hand is in there. That's great.
Yeah. So UNIMA Australia is called UNIMA Oz, because I come from the land of Oz. But yeah, so it's just been published in the last few weeks. Even though I wrote the report back in July, because you had 6 weeks after the completion of the activity that you applied for to write your report.
Right. You said that was going to be published online at some point?
Yes, there's going to be a online version which has all the video and all that sort of things that I was able to get, and that will be published on.
Okay.
There is a version on my blog, which was used by the editors, but it's not available to for the public to see because it's the version the editors are using.
Okay. All right. As soon as you get a link or something for that, let me know and send it to me, and I'll put it in the description.
I will shout it from the rooftops.
Of course you will. Oh yes, and I'll try to remember to put it in the description of this video. That way people can get right to it when that comes out. Well, you mentioned Beyond the Sock. Should we talk about that for a minute?
Yeah. That's how we know each other.
Because it's awesome, right? That's actually where Hannah and I, or Hannah, no, well, we can cut that, right? Okay. Katherine, where Katherine and I met was at Beyond the Sock in 2015. And it's a great workshop, and I'll link to it in the description too so people can see that. Great workshop in Texas, and it's taught, the instructors are
okay, the instructors are for puppet building. Pasha Romanowski, owner and founder of Project Puppet, projectpuppet.com. The puppetry side of the class is taught by the amazing Noel McNeil, who I admire so much, and also the wonderful Peter Linz, who we seem to have a shared admiration of.
Yes.
We love his characters, and he's quite an inspirational person. So small. Yeah. It's like you can't think of one without the other now. For me, they're a pair of brothers.
Yeah, little buddies.
But all 3 teachers are the kindest, most generous people, and it's not just during the workshop. You actually can ask advice and questions of them post-workshop. Even today, we got a message to our Beyond the Sock group from Noel McNeil, help asking, if you'd like to be involved in one of his projects in the Show Me Show. This is what I need, and it needs to be 20 seconds long. Here's where you can send your contributions to. So it's like, awesome. I get to, continue working with Noel, continue learning, So, you know, that's what I love about Beyond the Sock is that during the week, it's puppet boot camp. You work hard, it's long days, but you have the most incredible withdrawal symptoms afterwards because it is the most incredible fun. And you miss it so much. Like, it's now 4 months, nearly 5 now since we were all together in June.
Yeah.
It's 5 months.
Yeah.
And I miss you guys so much. I just want to go back and keep going.
I know, it's so fun. It really does become a community after, you know, because you get to know people really fast, and so it's super fun. It becomes a community afterwards that you communicate with people for a long time after. Yeah, it's great. If anybody who's watching has a chance to go, you should totally go. Okay. All right. Now, Katherine.
Yeah.
Now, it comes down to the big question. The question that everyone gets asked. Why puppetry?
Okay. Growing up, puppetry is very different here in Australia. Growing up, we had Sesame Street. It was on twice a day when I was little, but there was in the 1980s in Australia in Sydney, we had lots of places you could go for family-friendly puppetry, especially in the heart of Sydney on Sydney Harbour. There's the tourist area known as the Rocks, and there used to be a place called the Puppet Cottage, and also the Marionette Theatre of Australia was based there on the Rocks as well. And I would go, and my mother particularly, would take me to see endless puppet shows, and it felt like every other week at my primary school, or I think you call them elementary schools.
Yes.
There would be a puppet show on some aspect of personal development, or, you know, health, or even now we've still got a puppet show that I saw as a child called Life Education, and they've got a puppet giraffe called Harold the Healthy Giraffe. And I now know the company that the team of people who build the Harolds. They recently refurbished all the Harolds, and they've even asked me questions from time to time about how do they restore and renew the Harolds. But I saw that show as a kid, and that show is still going around to elementary schools, primary schools here in Australia, giving, you know, the healthy eating, but also awareness of mental health and that sort of thing. So there's still endless puppet shows. I've even got a set of puppets that I built for a school show that are touring still right now about developing resilience to bullying. A set of 6 dragons that I built between 2013 and 2014, and they are currently travelling around schools being performed. So it's like I sort of grew up always making things. Never considered puppetry and things as a career. We also had, I remember vaguely during weekends we would have reruns of Muppet Show, the original Muppet Show. So It was sort of always there. Puppetry was always there. But then as a teenager and things, I sort of become interested in mask making, because there were no books. I didn't know how to make a puppet. I just found them interesting objects. And it wasn't until really 2003 that my interest in puppetry took off in a really, really big way. I had a chance encounter. We have in our national capital, Canberra, we have a craft market called the Old Bus Depot Markets. And it's where I met my puppetry master. I'm trained in the old style of a master teaching an apprentice all their secrets and skills. That nowadays with the internet and books and things, that sort of tradition has gone. But she taught me, she was there promoting some workshops at her studio in puppet making, And I always wanted to learn how to make, and these puppets were more like my, this puppet here, this is Anubis that I built this year. A bit hard to see because he's all black.
Oh yeah.
But he's a Bunraku. He's a Bunraku style puppet in that my hand is in his, to the back of his neck, but he's got long rods on the back of his hands. But he's very, very, very tall. Like, there is his feet. So this is the large size puppet that I originally learnt on, but my original one is disintegrating now. So I wanted to rebuild, but also I was learning how to build muscle suits. So under here, all these cool abs and things are all a muscle suit. So I was learning how to build that this year. But this is how I got started in puppetry, was making puppets this big, but with latex heads and hands from my teacher. And that's when I was at her studio and she was showing me her puppets. She showed me a Muppet style puppet, and then she told me the secret. She had made that puppet with Jim Henson in 1987.
Oh wow.
She attended if you look up Muppets Counting on YouTube, there'll be video of Jim Henson teaching people how to, use their hands and count and do Frere Jacques and all that. My teacher's in that video. She was there in 1987 learning how to make puppets and Muppets. She brought the patterns back from that workshop and taught them to me. I now actually have those original patterns. So that's how I got started in foam puppets. But after I learned how to make the Bunraku, I learned how to make these small rod puppets. So there's a rod in here. And this puppet is actually one of my teachers. This is she made it for a show. And it's actually made of latex on the hands and the head. So this is the original way I learned how to make a puppet. So the head's on a rod, and it just turns. And there are rods on both hands. So this is how I got started in puppetry. I started well away from foam. But then when I started making foam and fabric, I realized how easy it was to build. It sort of became, but that's when it reawakened my interest in Muppets and Sesame Street, or more Muppets. Started researching. It's how I discovered Project Puppets, and how I learnt how to build. But that sort of reawakened my passion for puppetry, and then I started teaching people. I was also trying to get a job as a visual arts teacher in high schools. I wasn't always a librarian. I'm originally a visual arts teacher, but I couldn't get a job. But I thought teaching people how to make puppets would be something that differentiates me from all the other visual arts teachers out there looking for a job. So I just kept teaching workshops and things at the various schools I worked at. So yeah, so this is one of my teachers' beautiful puppets. I've got 6 of hers puppets in my collection. The rest are still with her family, but she taught me all her secrets. But the one thing that she couldn't ever persuade me to do was to puppeteer. I was too terrified to puppeteer. I preferred just to build. I was too scared, but she wanted to teach her stories to me, but unfortunately it is now too late. She passed away in 2013. And so, so that's how my journey started, in that, I was exposed to puppets, but mostly exposed to making. I was always encouraged to make things, build. In fact, I'm never more happier when I'm in a hardware store than a fashion store. This chick loves her power tools.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So I'd be happier if we go to the hardware store than if we go to the mall. I find malls boring, unless of course I can go to an art store or fabric store. But otherwise, if you take me fashion shopping, I'm bored to tears. So yeah.
Oh, that is so cool. I was trying not to make too much noise all while you were showing those puppets, because I knew it would switch over to me, and I was like, no, I want them to see the puppet.
Oh, I can keep talking.
Oh, it's totally fine. I just wanted to make sure everybody saw puppet. Yeah, go ahead. Keep talking.
I don't puppeteer these puppets. I don't give them voices. I don't even know their names because it's disrespectful. I feel it's disrespectful to my teacher if I puppeteer her. She had a very strict rule that I was not allowed to touch her puppets without her direct permission. So I'm their guardian. I'm not their puppeteer. I look after them. But I do take them to my school occasionally. Right now, my students in my class are building these rod puppets, except because they're latex, we're not allowed to use latex because they're a risk for anaphylaxis. So I've substituted traditional paper mache heads and hands. But otherwise, basically, the whole rod mechanism, how the shoulders are done, how the arms are done, everything is what my teacher taught me. It's just we've just substituted the final skin.
Right.
So yeah.
Right.
But I show this to my students as what you can do with some scraps of fabric to make an outfit. So
yeah, those are really beautiful puppets. That one there is just gorgeous. Very nice. Oh, so cool. So
does that sort of take us up to present day? Is that, you know, I originally came to Beyond the Sock last year in 2015. It was more to learn from Pasha than it was to actually learn to puppeteer. I saw the puppeteering side of things as a bonus, but I really, because I've known Pasha for many years, as that it was more for me to learn to build better puppets from an expert. And it's just the puppeteering side of things was very different. It was terrifying. It still is terrifying. You know, this last few months, puppeteering for me has caused me more despair and heartbreak than it given me joy. But yes. But yeah, so for me, it's like it's a journey of discovery. What else can I use materials for? You know, right. How else can I make something different? And then all of a sudden, I've recently discovered this great online school called Stan Winston's School of Character Arts, and it just exploded my ideas of what can I use to make puppets. Like my Anubis with his muscle suit, I was attending a muscle suit making class, how to make muscle suits for like superheroes for humans. I attended that class and went, well, I don't have room in my house for a human-sized muscle suit. Can I please make it for a puppet? So I scaled it down. It's entirely exactly the same technique. It's got its own little spandex suit under its skin with all the muscles sewn on and everything. So it's just going, I'm always looking for ways of learning how to do things differently.
Yeah. That's so cool. So you build puppets, you take them to your school for your students. But you also got commissioned to make puppets for a TV show. How did that start? Did they find you online, or like how did they find you? And can you talk about it very much?
The process that happened was that they contacted 2 other Sydney puppeteers, one of who's also a puppet builder. She was too busy to take on the commission. She's done many television shows herself. She's an exquisite puppet builder and a very good friend of mine. So she is too busy right now, so she recommended me. And then they also contacted another Sydney-based puppeteer who's a good friend of mine, but he's asking if they knew anyone who could build puppets. And he said, oh yes, I happen to know me, and he recommended me. So 2 people recommended me. So it wasn't really based on my online profile, because I don't have a website where I share pictures of my puppets. I sometimes blog about what my puppets are doing, but mostly, you know, I've only recently really taken on commissions and things, mostly because there's no room at home for any more puppet children, and there's no room at school for any more. The only way I get to build now is really if I'm doing commission work. But also, it's only now that I've been building for a good 14, 15 years that I feel my skills are of sufficient quality to build puppets for people, as you know, as commissions, or as, like right now, I'm actually building a puppet. This is the head for a lady in America. It's going to be a Christmas present for her daughter. So this is the head, and while I was waiting to start the interview, I've been stitching the hands. So it's going to be a very pink stuff. But I've just sort of built the head. That only recently that I felt that my skills were of, you know, appropriate level of quality, that, you know, I could charge people money for a puppet. It's about, you know, developing, you know, getting your reputation as a good builder. So I had these two people recommend me. The people contacted me. The production designer contacted and said, "This is what I need. This is what we'd like them to look like." And so then it was just a manic 2 weeks. Normally it would take me 6 weeks to build a puppet of, you know, TV quality. I had 2 weeks.
Wow.
And right now they're on set. They're being filmed right now. They're on set. I heard from the production designer actually just last Friday, and he said that the puppets have been fabulous. Everyone comments how great they look, and I went, yes, no problems. Because they wanted puppets that could be virtually, they were basically blank. They just had no, like, they were completely naked when I shipped them, except they had their eyes, eyebrows, and nose on. But they weren't on permanently. They were just stuck on with toupee tape. The rest, because what they wanted to do was be able to switch out hair and costume very quickly between characters. So they just wanted 2 very blank puppets. But everything had to be removable, such as they had to be able to take the arms off for costuming, had to be able to take the legs off for costuming, or, and I did say, because the puppeteers that they were using have no experience of puppeteering, I said, only use the legs when you absolutely have to, otherwise it makes the puppet too heavy and too awkward. But it was also a mixture of different patterns. The legs came off the Terry Angus dog pattern, but the feet were off Pasha Romanowski's legs and feet pattern. So the legs themselves were Terry Angus, the feet were Pasha Romanowski, the body and head and arms were from the BJ Guy pattern from Stan Winston School, which is my Phantom of the Opera pattern here, my Phantom of the Opera Eric. That's BJ Guy pattern. So it was like a real mishmash. That's what I love about collecting puppet patterns, is that, you know, this lady who wanted the monster, I went, oh, I've got a great monster pattern. It's got a cute little belly, and it's called the Mostro from Project Puppets. So sometimes I build a custom pattern, like this one right behind me. That's a Tasmanian Devil, designed by a great puppet friend of mine, Australian puppet friend, Wes Champion. His name's Cherney. He's a Tassie Devil, but that is completely custom, that whole pattern. I did the arms, the body, the head, everything from scratch. Right. So I love different kinds of puppets. But yeah, so that's how it works. And so I don't even know the name of the TV show. I've asked the production designer, you know, when it's appropriate, can you please tell me the name of the show so I can keep an eye out for it on television. That way I can grab some skills of what my puppets look like on TV, and also I can see, you know, did I get those scenes out? Have I managed to make them visible enough? Because, you know, the only time I've ever gotten to see something I've made on really TV is at Beyond Sock, when we get to use real TV cameras.
Right.
So it looks like that if that show goes to air, it will go to air next year in 2017.
Wow, that's so awesome. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, let us know when that comes comes out. I had a similar feeling when I was puppeteering for a local thing down in Pensacola. When I was living there, they found me online and they asked me to puppeteer for their video thing, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is the first time I've ever actually done this, like for real. So I understand the feeling a little bit. Like, oh, I hope I do this right. I hope I make my teachers proud here.
Yeah, so it was a lot like that for me.
Yeah, yeah. That is so cool, Katherine. That's so awesome. So what are some of your professional goals? And I know you're I mean you're a teacher and everything, but yeah, so what are your professional goals with puppetry, and how are you moving towards them beyond I mean if there's anything man, I'm really bad tonight. I'm not talking very well, am I? We've heard so much about what you're doing.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean, right? What are your goals and how are you moving towards them, even if we've already heard about it?
My goals in in puppetry and what I'm doing is I feel like at the moment that I'm at a crossroads in, do I want to keep pursuing puppeteering? Like I said earlier, the last few months have caused my experiences in puppeteering have caused me nothing but deep despair and hurt. And sometimes I pick up a puppet to puppeteer it, and I'm going, no, I feel like this is maybe not for me. Maybe it's my fate to be a puppet builder and a teacher of puppetry, which is, it's really sad what happened, and I wish it hadn't happened that way because it's affected a lot of things. It affected how I see someone who I respected a great deal in the industry and who I sort of grew up with. It really affected how I see their work, but also how I see myself as a puppeteer. And I sort of wish that it didn't happen, but it's had a dramatic impact. So I'm at this weird crossroads of going, is this for me? Is puppeteering for me? Is this what, should I just stop? And should I just focus on being a good puppet builder and a teacher of puppetry? So that's sort of on that puppeteering side of things. As a puppet builder, I just want to keep messing with different materials and like at the moment I'm working on, I want to create a tentacle tail for a cat. I've got this vision of, I want to build a cat puppet and I want its tail to swish. And I've been learning about how tentacle mechanisms work. And now that I own my own 3D printer, I'm going, well, I could probably 3D print the segments. And then I've been learning how to use the cables to make it just completely cable controlled mechanism. And because that way you don't have to worry about servos and things snapping and all that. So it's just something I'm pursuing. In terms of really challenging myself in terms of puppet building, there's been these great puppets online lately that were like almost cool, like a scarf puppet, but they're like with a huge long dragon on the end of your arm that's got these really cool things. That's something that would really challenge me in terms of fabricating the undersculpture, and then fabricating the external skin. And I've been learning about really cool things you can do with dense foam like L200 to do the horns and things that way I can keep it light, because I have built dragons in the past, but this one, it just looks so cool because it drapes across your shoulders, tail comes down one side of you, and the head is on beautiful. I saw this beautiful red dragon someone had, and I know it's very much like some certain famous dragons on television at the moment. But I just thought that just looked so cool as a puppet. But also, I see it as a way of being able to use my television puppetry skills of, you know, keeping the arm way up here to some use, because I don't really get to play with television puppetry skills that much.
Right.
In terms of what I do in teaching puppetry, it looks like I will have a Year 8 puppetry class next year, a new class. My current class will move on to Year 9, and we don't offer puppetry in Year 9, but one of them's taken up drama. Drama is a subject choice, so it's like, okay, this child will have a little head start on developing character. But I have a new class, so I'm looking forward to teaching them, but we're changing the way our timetable works, so then I won't be able to have this class anymore after next year. So I'm currently looking at how can I save the class for 2018 or beyond, because I really do love teaching puppetry. We've had the most amazing opportunities. We even went to our local national broadcaster, which was called Channel 2 here in Australia, and we got to see what is the only television puppetry in Australia at the moment being performed right in front of us. We were just off the camera on the set watching a show called Giggle and Hoot, and I've just been teaching. The children have been learning for the last 6 months about Muppet style puppetry and the Muppets and the history of the Muppets and Sesame Street and things. So for them it was like, but also they grew up with Giggle and Hoot, because Giggle and Hoot's been on television for many, many years. They grew up with it, and it's still on television now, but they got to watch it happen in front of them. They got to talk to the puppeteer. They got to see his side of things. The poor bloke, he doesn't have standing sets. He has to hide on the floor. He has all these monsters, and I'm going, oh, you poor thing. We at least got to stand up. But they don't do raised sets. So, but the ranks that brought over the spare Hoot puppet. Hoot is an owl. Then they have a spare one. They have one that blinks and one that doesn't blink. And they brought over the one that blinks, but not only brought the puppet over, they actually opened the whole puppet up to show the insides of the puppet. The whole head comes up so they can be maintained and looked after. But they showed it to the children, like they've been prepping this puppet all day, but the wrangler brought the puppet over and opened it up in front of the children. The children got to see inside, and I went, oh, Hoot's not a mouth puppet, he's a trigger. And so I was thought, because I've never seen the show really, but I've seen the puppet, and sort of going, oh, okay, the hand's gone in, the thumb's moving the beak. No, it's a trigger. And I'm going, oh, that's different. But yeah, the children got to see like a real TV studio. They got to see, you know, the floor manager do his thing. They saw a rehearsal. They saw there was a technical rehearsal, then a proper rehearsal. Then they actually saw the segment being filmed in front of them. They were just outside the camera, but they were sitting like on the side of the puppeteer, so they could see everything from his point of view. It was really cool. And then they allowed us to come actually sit on the lounge on the set for a photo. So we had this beautiful photo of us with the Hoot puppet and the puppeteer, and you know, I want to try and, that took 6 months to organise. I want to try and organise it again for the new class and take them to go and see people. That's what excites me as a teacher of puppetry, is, you know, giving my children these opportunities to meet professional puppeteers. The children sent questions to Neil, and you know, Noel actually sent video responses back that I played in class, and I actually filmed it for Noel. I set play and got one of my assistants to film, and you could actually see the children go, Noel would say their name, and they go, ah, like, he's answering my question. It's like they felt like it was special, and that was like, you know, one of the really cool things that I could do for my students. You know, it makes learning for them so much more fun.
Right. Yeah, that's so cool. Noel is awesome like that. He's so good. There is there is like an extra bit of magic that happens when we are on the set or on some kind of set with the puppeteer. Don't you think? It's like, I mean, you know how it works. And in your head you know how it works. But when you happening in front of you, it's like, oh my goodness, it's happening. there's an extra little bit that's just like,
It's
oh my
like
goodness, they're like,
when I was puppeteering on being filmed for the very first time last year for Beyond the Sock, people don't understand. I just say, "Oh, Peter Linz was helping me with the hands of my puppet," and I've had people who are Muppet fans go, "What? Hang on, you just said Peter Linz was operating the hands of your puppet?" And I'm going, "Yeah," as if like this is nothing strange, but they're going like they're freaking out because Peter had helped me with my performance, and it's like, yes, we're allowed. They still can't get it processed in their head. It's like
yeah,
that's why Lucy is also special to me and to the children now. Is that we were doing meet and greet, that little evening get together the first year last year in 2015. I had Lucy just sitting like this over my hand, like nothing important. And Peter comes up and says, "Who's that? Can I see?" And next thing I know, I'm getting a personal performance of Lucy by Peter Lynn. And that's why like Lucy's special. But it's like it's one of those cool things that just happens right in front of you, and you feel good about it.
yeah, yeah. They have a way of doing that. I think a little special uh, way of making you feel good, and that's,
You feel
I don't know.
more fuzzy and special.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of, did you say fuzzy? Because I have fuzzy. I have a fuzzy monster. Do you have any other creatures around that would like to come out?
Hi. Hi, Catherine. Oh!
Nothing, Chippy. Hi, I'm Chippy.
Chippy, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I have a question, Chippy. Chippy, are
Yeah.
you a cupcake?
Yeah. No, I'm not sure.
No.
I got chocolate chip.
Are you a muffin?
Yeah, I'm sort of muffinish. See, I'm big. I'm big.
You are muffin.
Muffin.
You are muffin. Yeah. You are muffin. Get in mouse. Oh no, muffin going to eat me.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, you have a penguin behind you. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I didn't see the penguin before. I had my notes in front of it and I never saw it. Except for the penguin.
Yes. Hi, everybody. Hi. My name's Shelley. Shelley's a fairy penguin. Yeah. I grant wishes.
Hi, Shelley.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hi. Hello.
What are you?
I'm a monkey. I'm baby boy. And I'm a monkey. Hi. Hello. You're a penguin.
Yeah, I'm a penguin. I'm a fairy penguin.
A fairy penguin? Are you a fairy godmother penguin? Oh, I have hair in my mouth.
Well, I do have a wand. I grant wishes.
Oh, I remember seeing you building that one.
Yeah, and I got a tiara too. See? I got a fish tiara. See my fish? Fish tiara?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I love it, Catherine. I love it. I don't think I saw the finished of that. I think I only saw like sketches and stuff. Say something so they can see it.
Yep. So this is the wand, Shelley's wand. It's made of fish to match her tiara. But yeah, so this is the wand. So I get up real close to the camera, and what you're seeing is craft foam that I used a soldering iron to create all that pattern on, then painted it using just acrylic paint. And then the structure underneath is just made of coat hanger wire, and there's actually under every fish is just a star shape. So I just slid the fish on, and the tails, the silvery tails, the fins, are overhead transparency film, because we don't use overhead projectors anymore at school, but we have thousands of these sheets of plastic. So I've used it to just painted it silver paint, but still a little translucent, but it's nice and thin. You can see if I put it sideways. But the same thing for Shelley's tiara.
Oh, that is so awesome.
Thank you.
So she's a fairy godmother penguin, or she's a fairy penguin, and her wand and tiara and everything are made out of fish.
Yeah, fairy penguins are native to Australia. Yeah. Except
I love it. I love your wand. Maybe I should have a wand made out of bananas. What do you think?
yeah, because that way you can grant wishes. You see, my wishes is my friends, the penguins, all they wish for are fish. All they want are fish.
Well, yeah, I mean, all my monkey friends, they would all want bananas, so that would make sense.
Yeah, but other people ask me for wishes, but all I can make are fish. So if you're hungry if you want some sardines, yeah, I can give you like sardines for lunch or dinner. It's dinner time there, isn't it? Yeah.
So if I asked you for bananas, would you give me bananas?
I don't know. I could try. You want me to try?
But does it always end up being fish?
So far, it's just been fish, but I could try. You want me to give it a go? Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Go for it.
1, 2, 3, fish! What you get? Internet too slow?
Hold on. It might be over here. Hold on. I think I heard something land. Hold on. Let me go get it. I think this might be it. Is it?
Yeah! Fish!
It's not a fish.
Internet a bit slow.
What is this? It's a frog.
Oh, it's a frog, is it?
It's a frog. That's not a fish. Can you try again?
Try again?
Yeah, try again.
1, 2, 3, fish!
I'm looking. Hold on, it might be.
Could be a few
Hold on,
I'm gonna wait for the
I'm gonna
satellite.
I'm gonna look. Hold on. I might have something. And we're looking. Maybe is this it? That's a sock. The sock with eyes and mouth. I don't understand. I don't think it's working. I think maybe it's. I don't think it works. Across time zones and everything.
Well, I've never tried casting wishes through the internet. Usually I do it in person.
Yeah, that's probably.
Maybe when I see you next year, I could try in person again. Yeah?
Yeah, that might work.
Yeah,
that might work. Hey, I'm gonna get a different friend now, okay?
Okay, bye.
Okay. Bye, see you later. Okay, I'm gonna get somebody else. Okay.
I haven't brought this one out. on the interviews yet. I built these little sock puppets.
Ah. I saw you seeing it.
Yeah. This is
Is that Argyle?
Yes, my name's Argyle, and I'm a sock, and I am a pigapee. A pigapee. I am a pigapee. Pigapee.
Pigapee.
Yes, because I'm kind of like a dog, and I'm kind of like a pig. So I'm a pigapee.
Oh,
Pig and puppy.
Adorable.
What's that?
You're adorable.
What'd you say?
Adorable.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you.
Hi.
Yes.
Hi.
Oh my goodness. Say something so they can hear you. What's your name?
Coco.
Hi, Coco. My
Hi.
name's Argyle.
How's it going?
What Oh, it's going good. It's good. Yep. How are you?
Squished.
How are you?
I'm
What?
squished.
You're squished. Oh dear.
It's been a while.
oh, he's all squished from being stored.
Yeah. Yeah. She keeps me on a stick. It's not very big.
Yeah, well, I get stuffed into a box, so I hear you. Okay.
Yeah.
That's puppets, you know. My arm is okay. There we go.
We got a hard life. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, we gotta deal with tight places, all kinds of stuff.
yeah. Yeah. My breed is Terry Angus. I'm a Terry Angus dog.
I'm a left foot. I think.
Left foot.
I think so.
I hear that's a pure breed.
Possibly. Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've
Purebred left foot.
I've got a cousin who works at Beyond the Sock. He's very scruffy. He's not refined.
Oh, that's Noel's Mr. Dog.
No, Precious.
No? Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, Pasha has a dog character that he brings every year. And Noel also has a dog character that he brings every year.
There's lots of dogs.
Yeah, that's dog.
Lots of dogs.
And Jennifer got to play with this gorgeous little puppy that belonged to Martin.
Mhm.
She did.
Oh yeah, the little sock puppet dog. That was so fun. Oh yes, he has a little brown sock puppet dog. Looks a lot like this guy actually, and he doesn't have any rod arms though, and he's got little tiny teeth and a tongue, and he kind of looks like a little yippy dog. It's adorable.
Oh, there's wow, two at a time.
Yeah.
That's
Why not?
talent. That is talent. Talented. Oh wow. Okay,
Yeah.
so Catherine, hey Catherine,
Yeah.
where can people find you online if they want to see pictures of Lucy and everything? What's the blog called?
Yep. It's called Miss Hannaford. MISSHAN for Nelly, N for Nelly, A F for Fred, ORD at not at dot at sorry me .edublogs.org. But I'm sure Jennifer will put all that in the description below. But I'm also on Twitter at Miss K Hannaford. And I'm also on Facebook. I do post some of my puppet things for public, but most of my posts, because I'm a school teacher, are just for friends, and I don't friend people that I haven't met in the real world. So, so sorry if I don't respond to my requests. Yeah.
Yeah, Twitter's better.
Yeah, so I tweet whenever I'm at conferences and things, but I tweet sometimes about puppets, but most of the time I just talk about my puppetry on my blogs. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll put the links for all that down there below. So okay.
Yeah, down there.
Katherine?
Look. Up there.
Yeah, down there.
Down there.
Down there. Somewhere. Katherine?
Yeah.
Katherine?
Yeah?
It has been awesome. It's been awesome.
It's been awesome too, Argyle.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mwah.
Bye.
Mwah.
Thanks, Katherine.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching.